So I want to go over all the skills we have covered with Mr. Patty so that you've got an opportunity to see everything in one spot. So this first exercise that we go over is relax on a mat. And what we're looking for from the little guy is just that exactly. He gives us a down and cocks his little hips up to the side, then rests his chin down. That's the epitome of relax on a mat. And then he gets a treat when he's in that relaxed state. You could also start to increase the amount of time as he gets better and better between treats, so he hangs out for longer and longer periods of time, usually adding, about 5 seconds every time, a little more time, and then also starting to work in different situations and scenarios that get him wound up. So when he gets really good at relax on a mat, you can calm down, you can take him to a park where you've got all sorts of activity going on and have him calm down and relax. This will be a real pivotal one for Mr. Padington. And the only thing that you can feel free to say during this exercise is his name. So if he goes rogue here, I thought he was going to wander off there for a minute, you can feel free to say his name. Other than that, I remain 100% silent and allow him to work this through. You can use any towel at any mat, set it down on the ground, and he'll know that you're doing relax on a mat. You remain silent. He comes on over and relaxes. And then you periodically give him a treat, let him know that he's doing a good job relaxing and calming down. And has all sorts of applications. I've had folks use this for plane rides, dog-friendly hotels. Basically, when his body language is nice and relaxed, it's sending a signal to his brain that everything's okay. We're fine and dandy, and so we want him to be able to control his emotions via his body language and positioning. So it's another reason that I like to remain silent, is I want him to start to work through this on his own and realize that he has the power on his own accord to calm himself down and relax him, basically giving him emotional intelligence. Very crucial exercise. Definitely encourage you to continue to work on that one and keep it fresh for him. You can even do it for 30 seconds. Do it a few times a day, and just anytime he gets super wound up, go do relax on the mat, calm down, and keep it super fresh for him. Help him calm down in any sort of scenario. Next, we're going to go over our name games. So I'm going to take a treat, pull it up towards my face, and say, Patty. As soon as he makes eye contact, I'm going to clicker that moment. Then I'm going to do it without pulling my hands up towards my face. Patty. And it's more challenging when I don't drag it up towards my face. The first one is luring, second one is without luring, so hands behind my back. Next, I'm going to do another name game exercise where I take a treat, toss it on the ground. May have lost that one. Let me put one on the ground. Go, bud. Patty. Good. And so on this one, we just want him to be able to be interested in a treat. Patty. But focus back in on you. After I've done some name game exercise, I'd love to then go into recall. Patty, come. Good job. So just tossing the treat around, particularly when you're alone. It's great to be able to work on recall, and you can just simply toss a treat. Patty, come. Good. He will do a thing sometimes when we're doing recall where he doesn't position himself exactly where he needs to be. He'll get to where he's about 5 feet away. We've got another tool in our toolbox for that, which is targeting. So you can put your hand down, tell him touch, and he then will come up and position himself exactly where he needs to be. So it looks like this. Patty, touch. And then he's right there. You'll notice that I'm clicking. The clicker right now is pinpointing the precise moment that he's done what you're looking for, and can keep a training skill super sharp when we're first learning it, so that he understands this is exactly what I've done, what you're looking for. So next we're going to go over our anti-jumping exercise, and this is just space is the command. Patty, space. Good. You notice how he jumped back there? That's great. Space. Also using it preemptively as I did in that scenario. And we really want him to understand that when we tell him space, that he needs to give us about a 3-foot bubble. You can also try some from behind. Patty, come. Yeah. Space. Good. Patty. Space. And work from a 360-degree bubble so that he realizes, regardless of where he is, that he needs to give you some space. You say space. Space. Good, Bob. Oh, very good. One last thing on space is that you'll notice that I clicker even if he's standing there, and a lot of times he offers up a sit. If he offers up a sit, that's great, but he doesn't. He meets the requirements if he is simply outside of my space, and great. It's like above and beyond if he gives me a sit. That's all well and good. So next we're going to go over just a sit and a down and a stay. Let's just flop away from my cutie. Sit. Jump up. Down. So I say every command one time, but I want to allow him to think that through. His down was not that quick, but I still want to allow him to think it through. I'll wait about 5 to 10 seconds even. He can do faster, but he's just thinking through. Let's give another opportunity on that actually. Patty, down. That's better. Very good. Patty, stay. Free. Very good. So free is his release cue once he's finished. We tell him free, and he knows that he is done. We've been doing sit, and he has to sit and stay before we go through doorways. It's really great to cultivate that impulse control. So continue to work on a sit and a stay while going through doorways, and it'll keep that sharp, but also we really want to cultivate impulse control with this little guy. He's a super, super smart guy, but really gung-ho and just wants to, get after it. And particularly as soon as we open up a door or any new environment, he gets really excited. We want to say, hey, you got to bring that down until we have told you it's time to go. And really aids in that break in between events, basically. So anytime that he goes through a doorway, even getting out of the car is a great opportunity to work on that. Next, we're going to go over a leave it exercise. So I'm just going to take the treats, leave it. He's got to back up. We've even been working on this. Patty, leave it. Free. Oh, where we set it down on the ground, and he has to leave it until we tell him free. So initially I did it from my hand, put it in front of his face, and then I set a treat down on the ground. In both scenarios, he's got to give me a leave it. So that is perfect. Next we're going to do, get our little cutie leashed up here and go over a loose leash walking. But he's done an excellent job, and I would say that one small side note is that distance and distraction are the 2 Ds that you can work on. You can always start to work from further distances and increasingly distracting environments. So I like to work inside initially and do it from short distances, get further away when I'm inside, and then take it outside, get super close again, and then start to gain some distance after that. And so my escalation is usually inside, then in the backyard, front yard, and then take it to a park. And as far as treats go, we want to initially treat 100% of the time for the next 2 weeks. He's doing excellent after that, and then we start to scale back on our treats and do it every other time and start to chain together some different skills. So sit down, stay, then you get a treat. And after that point, do another couple weeks like that, and then it can turn more into a slot machine to where he's just getting treats sporadically and doesn't know when he's going to get it. So he's done an excellent job. We'll get our little cutie leashed up here and go over our loose leash walking.